Good afternoon, everybody. This is Jana Jacobs, the regulatory law judge assigned to this case. We will be getting going when I've confirmed that we have whatever commissioners that we need. So just give me a second to get myself organized. Thank you. Hey, Jackie, are you able to confirm for me that I'm coming through loud and clear?
Yes, you sound good. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Judge Jacobs, this is Bev, and I will be ready anytime you are.
Thanks for letting me know. I'll make sure it's very clear when we're going on the record, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Hello? Hello, hello?
Yes, hello?
That sounds like
Yes,
Commissioner Holzman.
Yes,
Oh,
I got
wonderful.
in. But the number didn't work the first time, so I had to try to go again.
Thank you for
Right.
being persistent. So, Commissioner Holzman, I see you even are labeled. That's great. And so we may have one other commissioner with us. I'm going to give it one more minute and then we'll get going, okay?
Commissioner Kenny's here.
Hello, Commissioner Kenny. Thank you very much.
Hello. I tried to get on earlier, but I guess I was self-muted and I didn't realize it.
Well, you're right on time.
Right.
Okay, so I believe we have the commissioners that we were expecting at this point. So that means we should be ready to get going. So we will officially go on the record now. And the first thing I have to do in this kind of virtual hearing is to remind everyone to mute yourself if you are not addressing the commission, just to help us have a clear audio signal here today so we can all hear each other. All right. Today is January 26th, 2021. The Missouri Public Service Commission has set this time for a local public hearing in case number WR-2020-0344, which is captioned as in the matter of Missouri American Water Company's request for authority to implement a general rate increase for water and sewer service provided in Missouri service areas. The Commission has scheduled this local public hearing to give members of the public a chance to comment about Missouri American's application to the Commission. This hearing is also being streamed from the Commission's website at psc.mo.gov, so be aware that your comments today are being recorded for the record and are also being broadcast out on the interwebs for everyone to hear. The Missouri Public Service Commission regulates the rates charged by investor-owned public utility companies in Missouri to ensure that those rates are just and reasonable. The Commission also regulates the quality of service and safety of the operations of public utilities. The Commission is made up of 5 commissioners. The commissioners are appointed by the governor to fixed terms and are confirmed by the Senate. The commissioners are Chairman Ryan Silvey, Commissioner William Kenny, who's here with us today, Commissioner Scott Roop, Commissioner Maida Coleman, and Commissioner Jason Holzman, who is also with us here today. The commissioners employ a staff of engineers, accountants, attorneys, financial analysts, and other specialists in the field of utility regulation. My name is Jana Jacobs. I'm a regulatory law judge, and I'll preside over this hearing this afternoon. And as I mentioned before, we also have with us Commissioner Kenny and Commissioner Holzman. This is an official hearing of the Missouri Public Service Commission, and the statements and testimony of witnesses will be recorded by a court reporter and must be given under oath or affirmation. All of the commissioners, even those who are not here today, will have the opportunity to read all of the witnesses' remarks, and the commission values your comments and input in this case. The commission may make comments or ask questions at any time in this proceeding today, and so I want to make sure that the commissioners are aware they are invited to speak up and interrupt me at any time if there's something that they need to say or if they have a question for anyone here. All right, I'll begin by asking counsel to enter their appearance for the record. Could we hear from counsel for Missouri American Water first, please?
Yes, thank you, Judge Jacobs. Timothy Luft for Missouri American Water, 727 Craig Road, St. Louis, Missouri, 63141.
Thank you very much, Mr. Luft. And could we hear from counsel for the commission staff, please?
Thank you, Judge. Travis Pringle, Staff Council Department, Missouri Public Service Commission. My business address is 200 Madison Street, Suite 800, Jefferson City, Missouri, 65102.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pringle. And could I also hear now from the Office of the Public Counsel, please?
Good afternoon, Judge. Thank you. Caleb Hall, be hearing on behalf of Missouri's Office of Public Counsel. Our office address is 200 Madison Street, Suite 650, Jefferson City, Missouri, 65102.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hall. Do we have any interveners in this case for whom counsel would like to enter an appearance today? Okay, it doesn't seem like we have any interveners present. I have a list of people who have registered to make comments today. So what I'm going to do is call on those folks in the order that their names are listed. And then after I've gone through those people, I will also give any additional people who are with us here today a chance to make comments. So when I call your name, you'll need to go ahead and try to unmute your line. My understanding is for those of you who are calling in just using an ordinary phone and you dialed in today, you may need to press *6 to make sure that your line is not muted. For those of you who are using a smartphone application or a computer application through the internet to connect, then you would look for that mute symbol on your screen and make sure that that's indicating that you're not muted when it's time for you to address the commission. All right. So also one more point, because the company operates in different locations around the state, it may be helpful when introducing yourself to the commission to simply let the commission know where you're receiving services and whether you're a water and/or sewer customer. All right, so the commission is here today to hear comments from the public. So the commission won't be able to answer your questions today because they have to remain impartial until after all the evidence in the case has been presented. There will be an evidentiary hearing in this case where that information will be formally presented to the commission. The commission has not made a decision in this case. The commission is interested in hearing your comments and will consider those comments along with the other evidence in the case when the commission makes its decision. If you have questions after the hearing today, you can use the same email address that you used to register for this hearing, and that email address is mawc and then the word comments at psc.mo.gov. That should be included in any written materials that you may have received in this case and also anything that's posted at the commission's website. So if you look up case information, you should be able to find that. Okay, so it looks like we can proceed now to taking comment formally. I don't know if I've mentioned that testimony is received by oath or affirmation. So the first thing I'll do is ask you to raise your right hand and swear to tell the truth today in this hearing. And then you're going to identify yourself and spell your name. All right, so it looks like I have one name today for a person who is registered, and that's Mr. Paul Polychronis. I apologize if I did not get that last name correct, sir. Do we have a Mr. Polychronis with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, thank you, sir. Would you like to raise your right hand, please, sir? Thank you. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, could you state and spell your name, sir, for the record?
Okay. Do you need a middle name?
I think usually just first and last is acceptable, so I'll leave the middle name up to you.
Okay. First name's Paul. That's Paul. Last name Polychronis. That's Polychron as in Nancy is.
Thank you very much, sir. Sounds like we might have some feedback on somebody's line. All right.
Is it coming from mine?
It looks like you're using speakerphone or some system like that.
Wait a minute. Let me try this. I apologize. If I don't.
Well, you're okay. You're okay right now. It appears to be a problem when I'm speaking. So let's see if you can give your testimony. If you just want to go ahead and let us know what community you are receiving service in, if that's the case, and then just proceed with your comments, sir.
Okay. I live in Warrensburg and I'm a water customer, my family and I. And I just want to say I've been involved in a lot of public service enterprises over the years, and I have a really positive appraisal of the Missouri American Water Company, and I'm supportive of their desire to change their rates. I think they do a really great job. I think the type of thing that they do it so well they become invisible and taken for granted. And they're constantly battling kind of a public perception. Like, for instance, in Warrensburg, decades ago, our water used to kind of have a bad taste. I guess it had some sulfur in it. And they fixed that a long time ago. I think Warrensburg water tastes great and I drink it all the time. But there's still this mythology that people say Warrensburg water tastes bad. And which is just kind of strange. It's that leftover attitude. So I think in an enterprise like them, it's like when they do something right, no one remembers. When they do something wrong, no one forgets. But the water purity, which is so much better than that. There's this fad of people buying little bottles of water. I can't wait for that to end, because public water systems produce water by the gallon at, I think, less than a penny a gallon. So I just really appreciate what they do, and I'm sympathetic to the challenges they face. When you're taken for granted and become invisible in that way, people start to resent the money they pay for it, as though the water comes out of their faucet by magic. So I think that's all I want to say for now.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right, thank you.
Were there any questions? Now I'm getting an...
Mr. Polychronis, you tried to mute yourself but didn't. Could you please try again when you're not muted? I think that's what's causing the feedback with the judge's line.
Thank you, Mr. Hall. Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Polychronis? Okay, it doesn't appear that we have any questions for you, sir. Thank you very much for your testimony today. So I do have a list of folks who had registered to participate in a hearing but didn't indicate when they expected to attend. And so I'm going to go through that list now and see if any of those folks are with us here today. Do we have a Mr. David Parr on the line today who would like to speak? And I'm going to go through these fairly quickly, but I trust that you will speak up, unmute, and assert yourself if you are any of these folks. Julie and Terry Hayes. Barbara Yusen. That's Y-U-S-E-N. Bruce Kondracki. Philip Mitchell. Clarissa Cobb Fritz. Jasmine Jones. Nancy Norton. Okay, so if any folks out there, if you are one of those individuals, please speak up. Otherwise, the floor is now open for anyone else who has joined us here today and would like to make comments on the record to the commission. So I'm going to wait and see if there's anyone who speaks up. If you are gifted in the use of WebEx and you know how to raise your hand, you could try that as well. Those of you who are on just a phone line, once again, perhaps you'll need to press *6 to make sure you are not muted. And I'm just going to pause here for a minute to see if anybody speaks up to make additional comments. I have noticed in listening to some of these hearings that have been taking place over the past few days that sometimes it takes a little while for people either to figure out how to unmute themselves or work up the confidence to decide that they're going to actually speak up. It doesn't look like we have any additional folks so far who would like to speak up at this point. The floor is open if any comments would like to be made from the commission at this point before I close the hearing. Okay, the window is going to be closing on the possibility to make remarks to the commission here today, but there are, of course, numerous additional local public hearings scheduled in this case. I would like to thank all of our participants today for their testimony, and that would be Mr. Polychronis, I believe, if I kept track. And if anyone who's with us would like to submit written comments, you can provide those at the email address that I had provided before. It's mawc@psc.mo.gov, MAWC comments@psc.mo.gov. You can also contact the Office of the Public Counsel. And if you have concerns about your service, you can also reach out to the Public Service Commission's customer service line at 1-800-392-4211. All right, so I believe that we've done everything we can do here this afternoon. I thank you all for being here. We are now off the record. Thank you so much. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you all.